The next question you might be asking yourself is, okay, I'm committed to commenting, but how do I make sure I don't screw this up? How do I make sure I leave good comments? And so I have a couple of rules over here. One, you never want to leave a comment which is just low effort, essentially. So something along the lines of like, great, thanks for sharing, or great insights, or good luck. These are just low effort. I guess it's slightly better than nothing, but it's also not going to do a lot for you. So you probably want to kind of avoid those. The second thing I will say is you want to avoid AI generated comments at all costs. You can use AI to help you ideate and figure out what you want to say, but you sure as hell should be editing that before you actually hit publish. It's fairly easy, especially with like low grade off the shelf AI, to see when something is AI generated. A lot of it seems like it's regurgitation of the post back at the author. And that is instant credibility loss. And you can't afford that because you're trying to build a relationship with this person. So avoid purely AI generated comments, but use AI to help you ideate. Avoid low effort comments. I would also encourage you to maybe share links or resources in comments if you don't feel super comfortable talking about a topic yourself. So maybe you're selling to a very technical buyer, and maybe as an AE or SDR, you rely on like a solutions engineer to fill in those gaps. You probably have documents, assets, blog posts, videos, podcasts, whatever that are related. Ideally, like you can pull something from that, and this is where you can use AI to say something intelligent and help you parse that, or you just share the raw material and let them use that information themselves. And they'll at the very least appreciate you for being a curator of information or a conduit for that information, which they found helpful. So I'll show you some examples of how I use comments. The great thing about LinkedIn recently is you can actually see how many impressions your comments are getting as well. So for example, Jeff, I'm trying to sell to him. He made this post and I left a fairly thoughtful comment, actually like an opinion actually as well. I don't necessarily completely agree with what he posted. And then that actually started a conversation, and this got him to actually talk about us internally with his team, and then they checked us out. So that's one way to do it. And you can see that I obviously have a DM thread with him as well. So here's another example, Colin, in a sales cycle with them as well. And I just make sure that I stay on top of everything he posts. And this is a pretty small, like minor post, but he was talking about attitude when it comes to hiring people. I just wanted to stay on top of it. I would generally recommend, if this is your first interaction with them, leaving something more thoughtful, but I've kind of been nurturing him for the past 2 months now until something unlocks in that deal. And this is how you would think about comments actually as an AE more so as an SDR. When you're nurturing an existing opportunity, you're just like talking to leadership, staying present. Another one, shared a lot of opinions over here. And then here's somebody commenting on one of my posts. And then I just respond and kind of go from there. So lots of great examples of how you can leave comments. The point is you need to put a little bit of effort into it and make sure you're thinking. Don't overthink it. Don't worry about having the perfect comment, but also don't be low effort. This honestly, in aggregate per week, shouldn't take more than, I want to say 60 minutes. It's probably a better use of your time than 60 minutes of dialing, in assuming that you're already doing several hours of dialing in a week.